Introduction. Poseidon is one of the 12 Olympian gods and the most important gods of ancient Greece, who is the god of the seas, salt and fresh water, rivers, floods, droughts, earthquakes and horses, and the name Poseidon means Lord, husband, of the earth. The Romans identified him with Neptune, the ancient Italian god, but the two should not be confused. Poseidon is the son of Cronos and Rhea. He is the brother of Zeus, Hades, Hestia, Demeter, and Hera. The world was divided between him and his brothers Zeus and Hades. Poseidon became the ruler of the seas, Zeus became the ruler of the sky, and the underworld was given to Hades. His wife is Amphitrite. However, Poseidon has flirted with many women and has many children. Even Poseidon had intercourse with Medusa in Athena's temple, which angered Athena and turned Medusa, who was a beautiful woman, into an ugly old woman and turned Medusa's hair into a snake. Poseidon also played a role in building the wall of Troy and did this work with Apollo, but because Laomedon did not pay their wages, Poseidon annoyed the Trojans during the war and favored the Greeks. Also, Poseidon is considered the most powerful Olympian god after Zeus. Personality. One of the greatest Greek gods is Poseidon, who is considered the god of salt and fresh water, rivers, floods, seas, drought, earthquakes and horses, and Poseidon means Lord of the earth, and the Romans considered him equal to Neptune. With the arrival of the Achaeans in 1450 BC, Poseidon took the form of a heavenly god who brought Zeus with them. Poseidon, the son of Cronos and Rhea, is one of the 12 Olympian gods of the pantheon, and his brothers and sisters are Zeus, Hades, Hestia, Demeter, and Hera, who Homer considers Zeus to be the elder brother. In the ancient world, Poseidon was imagined as Zeus and had hair. And Rishi was disturbed and crowded. Also to Poseidon the nickname Enosikthon, meaning earth shaker. They gave because he was associated with earthquakes, and as the god of horses, he was nicknamed Hippios and was nicknamed Hippias in Athens along with Athena. Poseidon gave horses to those he loved, such as Pelops, Idas, Rhesus, and Peleus. Poseidon is the successor of a number of older gods such as Nereus, Phorcys, and Proteus, who has many of their characteristics, but has a violence that no one had before him, because he was often grumpy and dangerous, and this indicates the greatness of the sea storm, and when he was calm, he visited the loyal Ethiopians who offered him sacrifices. It was because of these meetings that Odysseus was able to escape from Poseidon several times. Most of Poseidon's children have inherited his violence. Poseidon, who became the subject of the artworks, was depicted as a tall, bearded creature, naked from the waist up, and holding 3 branches in his hand, which was his most common weapon, with which he shakes the earth, and in some cases, 3 raked fishes are depicted in his hand. He lived in a palace under the sea near Aegea in Euboea, and had horses with bronze hooves and golden manes, which were hippocampus, which he calmed as he drew his chariot over the sea, and he was traveling at an incredible speed. Poseidon, like his brothers and sisters except Zeus, was eaten by his father Cronus at birth, because Cronus feared for the future of his children. Of course, some have said that Rhea put a horse's foal instead of Poseidon. When Metis gave Cronus an emetic, Cronus' children fell out. Poseidon helped Zeus destroy the Titans and imprison them in Tartarus. So the 3 sons of Cronos divided the world between them and made the earth and Olympus a common property, and the sea and waters were given to Poseidon. It is said in a story that Cronos threw him into the sea as soon as he was born, and in another narration, it is stated that the Minoans were skilled in seafaring, and Zeus became the highest position, the god of the heavens, and Hades became the god of the underworld. Family. Poseidon's mother is Rhea, who was one of the Titans, and his father is Cronus. Rhea and Cronos are siblings, and married each other. Cronos' father is Uranus, whom Cronos sterilized by attacking him, and giants were born from the blood that was spilled into the sea, and by throwing Uranus' genitals into the sea. Aphrodite, who is the goddess of love and beauty, was born. The reason Cronus attacked his father was that Uranus had imprisoned them in the body of Gaia. Real wife. Poseidon was in love with Thetis at first, but he did not marry her because of the prophecy that told him that the child born from Thetis and Poseidon would be older than Poseidon, and Poseidon's official wife was considered to be Amphitrite, the daughter of Nereus or Oceanus, and it is said that when Poseidon married Amphitrite he declared his love. Amphitrite was afraid and fled to Atlas, but the sea creature, a dolphin-like creature, found her and convinced her to marry Poseidon, and as a reward for her action, Poseidon turned her into a constellation and placed her in the sky. Amphitrite was a calm and discreet lady, so that she never brought her husband's relationship with other women to her. Only once, and when she saw the beauty of Poseidon's new lover, she became jealous of him, and her jealousy caused Scylla, Poseidon's mistress, the goddess of springs, become an ugly old woman. Amphitrite gave birth to her husband 3 children named Triton, Rhode, and Benthesicum. All 3 are called Triton. Other lovers. Poseidon also impregnated Medusa, one of the Gorgons, and gave birth to 2 children named Chrysaor and Pegasus, winged horse, and rape of Atreus resulted in the birth of Theseus. After raping Canes, she turned him into a man at her own request. Poseidon even had a romantic relationship with his own sister Demeter and had intercourse with her while disguised as a stallion. He also got married to Gaia and had a child named Antaeus. Poseidon had children from other goddesses, nymphs, and other earthly women, and it is even stated in a story that he had sex with Medusa in one of the sacred temples of Athena and suffered from Athena's wrath to atone for this sin. Another of his loves was Scylla, who was hated by Amphitrite and turned into a goddess with 6 heads and 12 legs, and the other was Thera, who had 3 children from her relationship, Pleias, Neleus, and Atra. Poseidon and Athena. Another infamous story of Poseidon was the result of his competition with the goddess of wisdom, Athena, over the city of Athens. After Athena, Poseidon was considered the second most important god in the city of Athens, and in order to seduce the hearts of the people of the city, he threw his 3-pronged spear on the ground and caused spring to appear in the Acropolis, although Athena's last hand was by giving the people of Athens an olive tree. The battle was won. Poseidon was enraged by this decision and flooded the plains of Athens. Eventually, Athena and Poseidon were united by joining forces. Although Poseidon was the god of horses, Athena made the first chariot. Athena also built the first ship to sail the sea ruled by Poseidon, to flirt with him. Worshipping the god of seas, sailors relied on him for safe voyages and worshipped him, and many people sacrificed their horses by drowning them as a sign of gratitude and respect. He lived in the depths of the ocean in a palace made of coral and jewels, and rode in a chariot pulled by hippocampi. Poseidon was very ill-tempered, and his temper sometimes led to violence. When he was in a good mood, he created new lands and calm waters, while when he was in a bad mood, he would throw his trident at the earth, causing earthquakes, turbulent springs, damage to ships, and drowning of people. Ambitions and actions of Poseidon. According to Homer, Poseidon was very important, and the main reason for this was that he intervened in favor of Greece, even with the express command of Zeus, and his hatred arose from his and Apollo's previous dislike for Laomedon, Priam's father. This hatred remained from the place where Apollo and Poseidon were supposed to build the walls of the city of Troy for a reward, but at the end of the work, Laomedon did not reward them. Apollo apparently agreed because he later supported the Trojans in the Trojan War. But Poseidon, who was more callous, not only sent a sea monster to devour Laomedon's daughter Hysone. Heracles saved Hysone and destroyed the monster. Rather, it bothered the Trojans throughout the war. Poseidon claimed several lands as his own and fought with other gods over these areas. For example, he clashed with Athena over Athens and Troyzen. He also had a war with the king of Crete. When Minos asked him for a cow as a sacrifice, Poseidon agreed and sent him one of his beautiful sea cows. When Minos saw the cow, he stopped sacrificing it and preferred to keep it with himself. When Poseidon heard about this issue, he became angry and made Minos's wife, Pasiphae, to become very fond of this cow. When Poseidon was participating in a war, his brother Hades was afraid that the earth would collapse due to an earthquake that his brother had caused. Collapse, and the roof of the netherworld comes down. Symbols: Poseidon was usually depicted holding a trident, a weapon used by fishermen, and riding a chariot drawn by strange animals, half horse and half snake, surrounded by fish, porpoises, and various sea creatures such as nereids, etc. Other deity names attributed to Poseidon include the god of earthquakes and horses. Symbols associated with Poseidon include the dolphin, the trident, and the three-pronged spear. Subscribe for more.